This has created a massive challenge, and frankly an epidemic, not just for pedestrians and bicyclists, but for all road users, as we heard about earlier. I mean, we don't talk about it enough that, we had 15 drivers and 3 motorcyclists killed on our roadways as well. This isn't about protecting pedestrians and protecting bicyclists. This is protecting people, residents, human beings who are using our roadways in all different ways and currently are not nearly as safe as they need to be and as we want them to be. Wade, you mentioned earlier that one of the goals that you have, and I think the goal of this conversation should be making sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to Vision Zero across county government. And I think that's absolutely fundamental to the monumental task that's before us. I want to turn to page 2 of the county's Vision Zero Action Plan published in November of 2017. If you don't have it in front of you, I'll quote it, don't worry. There is a chart that details how Vision Zero and the safe systems approach that is the basis for Vision Zero differs from a traditional safety approach, the one that we have been using for almost 100 years. Under a traditional road safety approach, what causes the problem are non-compliant road users. Under a traditional road safety approach, the person or persons ultimately responsible are the individual road users. Under a safe systems approach, the approach that our county has formally adopted as our policy, as a Vision Zero policy, what causes the problem are not non-compliant road users. Under a safe systems approach, people make mistakes and people are physically fragile, vulnerable in crashes. Varying quality and design of infrastructure and operating speeds provides inconsistent guidance to users about what is safe use behavior. Not my words, this is the quote from the November 2017 adopted plan that is the county's official policy on road safety. Under a safe systems approach, quote, who is ultimately responsible? Under a safe systems approach, quote, there is a shared responsibility by individuals with system designers. System designers, that's us. We're the policymakers. We focus too much on the people on our roadways and not enough on the policies and the policymakers behind our roadways. Now I want to read you a tweet from the official Montgomery County, Maryland Twitter account that came on January 17th, the day after 32-year-old Brett Baden was struck and killed by a driver in a vehicle while trying to cross Rockville Pike, not far from here at Wooten Parkway, just outside my district. The tweet remains up today. The tweet reads, drivers stay alert for pedestrians, especially when it's dark. Pedestrians, use crosswalks when available and be as visible as possible by wearing light colors and using a reflector or a small flashlight. Safety is a shared responsibility. Doesn't reflect the policy that we've adopted as a county. So my question is, does anybody on this panel believe that this tweet is consistent with our own adopted Vision Zero plan that says when it comes to what the problem is and who is ultimately responsible? I'll take that as no. Another question, does anyone on this panel believe that the solution to this epidemic is pedestrians wearing light colors, bright colors, or using flashlights when trying to cross the street? Take that also as a no. Additional question, does anyone on the panel think Brett Baden, a constituent of mine, a Special Olympics participant who loved bowling, someone who people are currently describing as a gentle soul, someone whose death has devastated many people in our community, does anyone here think that he as a pedestrian is to blame for his own death because he wasn't using a flashlight when he was trying to cross the street? County Executive Elrich said at his Vision Zero press conference yesterday that, quote, if everybody did what these places were engineered for, we'd be fine, end quote. Does anyone think that Jake Castle, when he was trying to swerve out of the way of an obstruction on the sidewalk, or the driver who hit him weren't doing exactly what our roadways were designed for? If we're going to be serious about Vision Zero, then our county government must stop blaming the people who are using our roadways and start taking responsibility for the roadways that we're designing. We have to start focusing on what's causing the problem, not according to me, not according to what I think, but according to the policy that we've adopted as a county. The speed of vehicles, the fact that too many places we have too many people that are vulnerable users, pedestrians and bicyclists predominantly, and that we aren't protecting them nearly enough as we should. Unless we can commit to truly understanding what's causing the problem and what is responsible for the problem, then I'm afraid we'll just keep having these updates with no progress and more tragedy. It shouldn't be about shaming individual actors or blaming individual users of our roadways. It should be about taking responsibility, our responsibility, for making the changes that are needed to keep our residents safe. If we can't agree on what the problem is and what is responsible for the problem, then we aren't going to do the right things in order to solve them.